Hello and welcome to my alternative channel, Anti-War. And today on Anti-War, we're looking at Colt 45 Original, formerly known as Colt 45 Malt Liquor. This is the new City Brewing edition. It's produced in America by City Brewing for Pabst Brewing, who doesn't have any breweries anymore. Rich smoothness for every occasion. Colt 45 Original always remains true. The classic American lager since 1963. Well, it has been on the market 61 years. It says G. Heileman Brewing Company, Latrobe, Pennsylvania / Memphis, Tennessee / Irwindale, California. Well, that's City Brewing. This one says MPC. So it's got to be Memphis because it's not Irwindale or Latrobe. And we're close to Memphis, 5.5 hours away. So best by October. So we got a good date, guys. I don't know if Colt 45 has always been 5.6 because they didn't start putting the ABV on the cans and bottles until about, I don't know, 10 years ago. So you always had to guess what the ABV was anyway. Now I found this 6-pack at Walmart. It was $6.43 for the 6-pack of cans. Yes, we can get 40-ounce bottles here and there in Louisiana, but not really in this parish. In fact, in this parish, we don't have counties. In this parish, I have not seen Colt 45 for about 15 years. So there it is, clear, deep gold. You can see the racing bubbles. Thick white head. Pungent. And it's crackling. I get a pungent grain, fermented grain aroma. Let's go to taste. Now, you know the grains are going to be barley malt, corn, or corn syrup, whatever they want to use. Corn grits, corn syrup, hops, maybe hop extract, and yeast. The bitterness units are going to be very low. Basically, none. But there is some bitterness, but I'm telling you, it's low. All right. So the bitterness here is actually, I think it's more than I'm thinking. It's like 1.5 out of 5 hop cones. 1.5 out of 5. Maybe the actual number might only be 12 or a 9 IBUs. Sweetness. Yeah, it's half and half, 2.5, 2.5 out of 5 sugar cubes. Does it taste like the previous Colt 45? No, it doesn't. It's got more body, so it's a little heavier body. It's more of a, if you want to call it a gamey flavor, a rich flavor. Some people might say a disgusting, gross flavor. I don't know. It's a strange flavor. I don't dislike it. The first can, I wasn't thrilled. The second can, I was more pleased about it. This is the third can. I gave my friend David a can. He called me and said it tastes like Pabst Blue Ribbon to him. I didn't agree, but I didn't have time to talk to him. I was about to call somebody else. But I don't know. Tommy Carroll says, cheers, Louisiana beer reviews. Hope you're having a pleasant Sunday. Thank you. I am. Pleasant Valley Sunday. Mississippi River Valley. I do like it. Does it taste like a traditional malt liquor from my experience since 1996? Not really. I think they tried to make it taste more like an American lager, strong lager. You say, what's the difference? There's not much difference. Although I think the old style 1990s malt liquors use a whole lot of corn to jack up the ABV and less barley. Can't say that for sure. I don't know that they did. This one, it's medium body. It's not heavy bodied, so mostly dry finish. I had it in the freezer for 25 minutes. I would recommend doing that. Prickly carbonation. I think they did a good job with it. I think it'll take some getting used to, however. So if you find the glass 40-ounce bottle, I got that over there. I'm not gonna show it. It's the same as this, just glass bottle. If you find these cans, find 12-ounce bottles, 12-ounce cans in a 12-pack or 30-pack, which they do make. Don't know where they are. If you find it on draft, which will be almost impossible, but I think that exists too. Double malt, the blue label, the double malt, still around. I would buy that. The high gravity, you can find that in the black label. That's in some states, Florida for one. I would not buy that one. It's too strong. And I'm going by the old version. I don't know what the city brewing version is going to taste like of double malt and high gravity, but maybe they're good. I don't know. It might be too gamey. You know, this one's kind of gamey. A gamey flavor is hard to describe, but if you taste it, you know what I mean. It's like if you eat game meat compared to like regular beef from the grocery store, a lot of people don't like it. It's like that's why they take deer meat, mix it with pork, half and half, and make deer sausage. If you got to mix it, you know, to make it palatable, I'd just soon not drink it, you know, or eat it. Why not just get pork sausage? But people got this, you know, caveman thing about hunting. Got to track the animal and kill it. I don't care about hunting. I'm not opposed to. I'm not one of these fanatics. I don't care if people hunt. If you want to go hunt animals, that's fine with me. I'm not interested in it, honestly. I'm not interested in fishing, but I'm not opposed. I'm not morally opposed to it. I just don't see the appeal. But this would not be one of my top choices for beer. But then to be fair, it never was. I never went and bought Pabst 45. I never went to buy a Colt 45. I would buy it to do videos and just try it sometime, but to say I would drink it regularly, it would not be a true statement. I've been drinking stuff like, I used to drink like natural ice regularly, even Hurricane high gravity, but I didn't do that for too long. It was too strong, too much to take. But certainly natural ice and things like that, Miller High Life. But now I've gravitated toward like Milwaukee's Best Light. Do I think the light beer like Milwaukee's Best is super enjoyable? It's not really super enjoyable, but it is mild, and you just gotta kind of cool it after a while. So, you know, 4.1, yeah, that's about what I could deal with for everyday drinking. Say 22 to 24 a week, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Even though it's kind of bland, you know what I mean? But I mean, it's well made. I can't take issue with it. Now, funny thing, I was looking at the Pabst Blue Ribbon website, never located to, and they give you choices. Some of the choices is iced tea, stuff like that. Pabst hard iced tea. I never seen that. They used to have the remember they had the coffee, hard coffee. That's gone. But they're not showing Pabst Easy, the light beer, and they're not showing Pabst Extra. What's it called? The black label. You know, the strong one, the 6.5. So I was looking at the can right there. Maybe they dropped it. They're showing it on the website, but it's not on a locator tool. But then on the other hand, you never know what that company's doing. They probably got beers they put out. They don't even realize they produce them. Like you might go and they go to the office meeting over there at Pabst Brewing and they'd be like, "What? We still make Big Bear malt liquor? I thought Big Bear got discontinued." And then they'd be like, "Oh, that guy, he didn't put the paperwork in. We've been making it. Are we selling it? Yeah, they buy it like crazy in Southern Illinois." Oh, okay. You know, it's like scary. I used to like the Eagle malt liquor, but the company went out of business. Anybody want to see Eagle malt liquor? I bought that in Sorrento, Louisiana. Sorrento, Louisiana. It's a small town. But they have a mayor. They have a police chief. They have city limits, but I don't know why. It's like I don't know how the city council could have 5 members. It's not really a city. It's not a town. It's a village. It's I don't know what it is. It's like nothing there. But that's irrelevant. I bought the Eagle there. If anybody wants to see the Eagle, maybe it tastes different because it's now brewed with mountain spring water, like Rolling Rock was. Yeah, haha. Malt Mustang, mountain spring water. Well, they don't make that claim. Maybe Mississippi River water and Memphis municipal water supply. Could you chug this? Well, you could chug it, might come back up. So before I give it I'm gonna give it a 90. It's excellent to an extent. There is some excellence to it. I think City Brewing has potential. They obviously have potential because they produce a lot of stuff. And they've been doing it for now over 20 years. Would I like to tour the facility in Memphis? I would like to. And I'll have to call them and ask them, could I do it? But if anybody wants to see the Eagle that I bought, I guess I bought that in 1997 on a road trip. I was coming back from the Louisiana State University football game, LSU football game. And I had to go to the bathroom really, but I said, let me stop here at this gas station right off Interstate 10 in Sorrento and look around because they never really had anything. But I was looking around and I was like, oh, the Eagle, and I had to buy it. It was like $3.99 for a 6-pack, and I really liked it. Unfortunately, the company went out of business about 2 months after I bought it, and they were selling a regular beer too down here, which I thought was great. It was so good. But then I went back to find it. I was like, I can't find this beer because they had quart bottles, brown quart bottles. And I said, I'm going to buy that for my collection. And I went back and they didn't have it at Pilot. And I didn't realize it went out of business. Do you want to see does anybody want to see the can? Anybody want to see what the can looked like? I'll show it to you. Oh, well, I've got a can. I'm looking at it. I don't know what the ABV was. It tastes like it was around, the way it felt and tasted, it seemed like it was around 6. Okay, well, anyway, the company was called Sterling Brewing Company, Evansville, Indiana. There's a university there, University of Evansville. It's private. It's not a private university. I think they have good scholarships. Like if you're interested in going, they might help you. Something I don't know. It's right on. Oh, I think it's right on the Ohio River, southern Indiana. Copperhead area. They call those people the Copperheads. If you read about the war, the 1861 to 1865 war, you'll learn about the Copperheads. But the brewery was Sterling, Evansville Brewing Company, Sterling Brewing. It's like they had both names. But that's it. So I'll give you one last chance to look at it. Going once, going twice, gone. But you can look it up on Google. The Eagle malt liquor. Oh, of course it was. Yeah, I'd love to see it. Okay, Malt Mustang. You caught me at the last possible second, literally. There you go, a 1997 can. The Eagle Premium Malt Liquor. Like I said, the 6-pack was like, oh, I don't know, $3.99. And I said, I never heard of this stuff. So when I bought it, but Louisiana beer reviews, I remember years ago drinking it, a beer called Cook's. Have you ever tried? I never heard of Cook's. Okay, so the Eagle. Let's look at this. Evansville, that's what I told you. Evansville Brewing Company, Incorporated, Evansville, Indiana. Union made. Might be why they went out of business. Okay, contains 16 fluid ounces. The bold, the proud. The bold, the proud. They can't say strong. Now remember, they can't say strong. That's a no-no. You can't say strong on American strong beers. Because then they say you're promoting the alcohol content. You got to say, you got to allude to it. That's why all the malt liquors got names like Colt 45. It's strong. It'll kill you. It'll kick you. A horse or a gun or a hornet. You know, Mickey's with the hornet or a bull. Schlitz malt liquor, the bull. And this is the eagle, powerful. So they all be like powerful. A lion, a tiger. But they can't say strong. Silly, right? Yeah, this is back when they never put the ABV. They would never put the ABV on any beers. Back in those days, you never would really know what the strength was. Kind of taste it. Let's see. Yeah, I got it. 1995. Oh, I must have bought this in 96. 257th day of 95. At 13 hours, that would be 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 12 minutes. 1:12 p.m., 257th day of 1995. Okay, all right. Could I have bought this in 95 after an LSU game? Might have. I doubt it, though. It seemed like it was 96. It could have been, I don't know. It couldn't have been 95 because I wasn't buying beer in 95. I didn't start my project till February 96. It was probably early 96. I might have been coming back from a basketball game there. College basketball game. We used to go to those games at LSU. I still go to them at Southeastern Louisiana University. But yeah, there it is. And I bought the Evansville. If you want to see Sterling, I bought the Sterling. It was a beautiful beer, but the company went out of business. Cool can, thank you. Didn't Sterling produce Mickey's at one time? Yes, that's a good. Hey, I'm glad you're observant. Yes, Sterling introduced Mickey's in 1962. Now, did the name Mickey's have something to do with the company? Could it have been a nephew, relative, cousin, uncle? A lot of times these beer companies or whiskey companies, they'll bring in a name of somebody in their family that, like, it might be their godchild, you know. I'm going to name the whiskey after my godchild or the beer. Like Richard's Wild Irish Rose. You've heard of Richard's Wild Irish Rose? Every dive bar, every dive store has it. But the funny thing about it, Richard is a real person. He's still alive. Richard Sands is a real guy. And he was born in 1951. And in 1954, when he was 3 years old, his father introduced a new wine called Richard's apostrophe S, Richard's Wild Irish Rose in honor of his son. Now, and then when the father died, Richard took over, and that's when you started seeing the company going, woo. Maybe Richard was drinking too much of his product, but I mean, I'm not making a joke about it, but it is true. When Richard took over, and then the father retired. Well, I used to track all that. The father had retired, and then he was like the honorary chairman of the board. He didn't do anything. And then he died. His name was, I think, Irving Sands or something. But he died, and then Richard took over, and then the company was like going haywire. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, and then about 5 years later, there was this thing where I got the impression he was like forced out. Like, we can't make you quit, but we're gonna try hard to make you quit. All the stockholders, and it's kind of like with Anheuser-Busch. It was like, we can't make you quit. The guy Bush, what's his name? August Bush the Fourth. He's about 6 years older than me. It's like, we can't make you quit, but we can put so much pressure on you and cause so much trouble that you're going to want to quit. So then they were like, why are we even dealing with this guy? We own more of the stock than he does. It was kind of like the Oakland Raiders, where Al Davis was the owner, but he didn't actually own most of the stock. So Anheuser-Busch, it was funny because the Bush family owned literally 2.5% of the stock, but they had control because they had just the money kept coming in. So, but then when the money wasn't coming in like it used to come in, like in 2003, 4, 5, the investors were like, "Where's the money? I want my check. I used to get 20, now I'm getting 5." So they forced him out, and then they sold out to InBev. And I think that's what happened with Constellation Brands. They drove out Richard, and he was kind of like on the board as like an honorary after, like his father. But then they just sold. They sold it. They was like sold it. All right. But I think that's where these names come from. They come from like people that are in like literally part of the company. All right. Last comments. Mustang says, now I wish I would have paid more attention to those low-end malt liquors in the 90s, but I was too busy diving into craft beer. I mean, I did the craft beer thing too. I still do the craft beer thing, but yeah, now in my case, right? So like I never drink beer. I'm telling you, my whole life, I never cared about beer. I never drink beer. I'm telling you the truth. People always tell me, you remember back when you were in high school and you get ripped up, tore up, drunk? I said, no, because I never drank. I literally never drank any alcohol until I was 26 years old, 27 years old. I'll just admit it. All right. So, but in February 96, I said, and this was like just an observant thing. I say, people always talk about beer. We was drinking beer. We drank beer. Oh, look, we going to buy beer. Like they would always talk about that. So I said one day, oh man, these people always talking about beer. That's all they talk about around here in Louisiana, because Louisiana is a football state with Louisiana is a drinking state with a football problem, really. It's a drinking state with a football problem. So I said, okay. So I said, let me see what this is all about. So I started doing a beer tasting project in February 96. So I started seeing products like, okay, this is regular beer. This one tastes stronger. It's obviously stronger, but they don't put the ABV on the bottle. So I remember buying this. I just went to the store right there, half a mile. I could walk to the store in 10 minutes. But I went there. And they had this on the display. It was on it like a display, like a stacked up, and it had like bottles. And I don't know what it was. It was cheap, like $1.19. Maybe it was $1.19. I don't know what it was. Something like that. I said St. Ides premium malt liquor. It looked like a hurricane hitting it, which is what they're basing it on. I said, I'll buy it, what the heck. So I bought it and took it home. Brewed with natural ingredients. That's good to know. Serve cold. Well, definitely. St. Ides Brewing Company, Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. I think that's Lion Brewery. And under special agreement, Detroit, Michigan. That's Stroh's. That was back in the Stroh's days. So I must have bought this bottle in 96. So I thought, it's pretty good. It has some character, and everything. And so then St. Ides got bought out by Pabst, which was not good because then you never saw it again. So St. Ides got bought out by this. This was a lower alcohol. It wasn't 8%. I don't believe it. I'll never believe it. I don't believe it was 8% because it was mild. And then the next time I saw it was out of state, like in maybe I don't know, Maryland, something like that. And then it was called St. Ides High Gravity Malt Liquor, 8.2. Oh, that thing was strong. I say, oh. I was saying, I don't know how y'all drink that. But of course I kept the bottle. But anyway, but yeah, back when St. Ides was independent, like an independent company, Mackenzie River Corporation of California, we used to get it all the time. It was nice. It was mild. And people would talk about it. I'm drinking St. Ides. And then it just went away. Now it's away everywhere. It's like, sometimes I think they buy out these products so they could kill them. They don't want competition. They could own it, but they kill it. They don't want it on the market. All right. Last comments. Thorough review. Have a blessed Sunday. You too, Tommy. All right. So final assessment here. Oh, Sterling. No, I like it. I'll give it a 90. I think a 90 is a fair score. Eagle, if you ever see it, buy it. But unfortunately, you'll never see it since the company went out of business in 97. Should laugh about it. All right. I was seeing if I could make a quick grab of Sterling, but it's all embedded with all my other bottles and cans. But Sterling was like a silver label, white silver with a red stripe, blue, and kind of like red, white, and blue, red, white, and blue, kind of Americanistic Americana label. Like I said, we used to get the 12-ounce cans, the quart bottles, and I was so shocked. The company just went out of business. I read it in the paper or something. They had been around forever, but it was a disappointment, really a shame. But you could do an internet search, Yahoo, Google, Bing, look up Sterling beer. They'll show it. Beautiful can. All right. Well, but I had one and I drank it, and I drank a 6-pack and it was mighty fine. All right. Well, y'all take care now. Bye-bye.